The hope is to target our thoughts and sometimes our behaviors in order to allow our whole self to move towards an outcome that we desire. I'll be honest, I didn't do last week's homework. I just didn't see how anything in there was actually going to make a difference. I'm glad you told me. Maybe we can take a step back from our plans for a moment, because I definitely don't want you to feel like you're just doing a task because I asked you to when you don't think it's going to help. So I'm curious to revisit what you feel you're looking for from our sessions and where you'd like me to support you. That way we can make sure we're on the same page and I can really help in the ways you need. The NBT focuses on striking a balance of validating and accepting a client's current challenges while also embracing change by building up skills that help clients regulate their emotions. Oh, I'm definitely not going to do that. I wonder what you're concerned that will be like for you if you did it. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be difficult, but it's just that if we do that skill, it's just going to take me right back into my grief, and then it's going to be this never-ending pit of sadness that I'm never going to get out of. And what's the point of that? I mean, isn't the whole point of why we're here to try to get out of my sadness? I understand. It can feel completely backwards to run back into the burning building of your emotions when you're just trying to get to safety. The creator of DBT has this imagery that I like, and many of my clients find it useful to hear. So it's like you're in hell right now, and you keep trying to get out by climbing up a ladder. But the ladder is made of metal, so every time you climb up a little bit, you burn yourself. It's super hot, so you drop back down into hell. It is an option to hang out in the misery you're in and stay in hell, but the only way out of hell is to get burned while climbing up that ladder, unfortunately. So even though this exercise is extremely painful and you're already dealing with an excruciating amount of pain, it's designed to help you move through and out of the pain you're in. So the goal of IFS is to help clients approach and understand their inner parts, especially those parts that are wounded or maybe playing more of a protective role, and that through seeing and understanding those parts of themselves, they can access healing. According to Dr. Schwartz, the developer of IFS, quote, "Resistance is the protective parts of a person. They see it as their job to keep people, therapists, or any threat of danger out of the client's system." So in IFS, the therapist respects the resistant part of the client as a valuable protector from feared outcomes. The therapist emphasizes seeking to get to know that protective side of the client and whatever fears it might be protecting the client from. The therapist also lets the client know that they are fully in the driver's seat. So the therapist is not going to make them go anywhere that the client doesn't want to go. If the client wants to keep those protectors up, they sure can. And at the same time, the therapist might play cheerleader for a little bit, letting the client know that if they ever build enough trust with the therapist that they feel safe enough to let their guard down, then maybe they can finally gain enough healing that that protector doesn't have to work so hard all the time like it has been. Oh no, I really don't think I'm ready to go there. Certainly, you're in charge here, so we don't ever have to go there if you choose not to. I'm curious to ask, I wonder what you think might happen if that protective part of you let its guard down and let me see more of you. I've just been hurt by so many people. I mean, every time I let my guard down, I feel like people are judging me or they just disappear completely. So I keep my guard up to avoid that. That makes complete sense. I would really need to earn your trust in order for that protective part of you to let its guard down and let me in. So let me be super clear. We will not go down that path without your express, total permission to do so. But I'll say for now, if there comes a time down the road when we do build enough trust that you feel safe enough to let your guard down so we could help the other parts of you find healing, I imagine that protective part of you wouldn't have to spend so much energy protecting you all the time. But whether we ever cross that bridge would be completely up to you. We don't ever have to go there if you don't want to. If they see resistance coming up for their clients, they might have in mind that there may be some unconscious variables influencing that client's resistance, and they may also want to check in to see if there's anything about that client's relationship with the therapist that may also be influencing the resistance. Whew. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot about our session. I'm so sorry I'm late. You know, last time we met, we touched on some heavy topics, and it seemed like we left off on a rough note. So I wonder if it's possible that some of that may have contributed to our session today slipping your mind. Oh, no, not at all. I'm actually doing really great lately. You've been super helpful. I'm doing so much better. It's great. So maybe I don't need to keep coming. I am glad to hear that you're feeling so much better. And I also just can't help but remember the note we left off on last time. You ran out of my office crying before our session was over. It seemed like you were really experiencing something pretty intense. It's great to hear that you feel better now, but I'm just also concerned for how you were doing when we left off last time. Is there perhaps something more to the story here that I'm missing? Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that. I guess I might have been trying to avoid what we were talking about last time. I don't really want to go back to that place.